Good afternoon and welcome to our Covenant Healthcare sponsored pregame show on Bay County TV. Jeff Doan along with Mike Wisdala. Pleasure to have you back at a place that we love to be at.
I'll tell you what, Jeff, there's no better place that we've been to call a game than here at beautiful Dow Diamond, and we've got a couple really good high school baseball teams. We got the Pinconning area Spartans kind of hosting the Bay City Central Wolves, so no better place, and what a thrill for these young men to be playing here at Dow Diamond.
Well, we had an opportunity to head out on the field, spend about 10 minutes with both head coaches. Early season excitement abounds for both teams.
Yeah, actually it's their first game for both squads. Mother Nature has not cooperated this spring with the baseball teams, but they are very excited. Both coaches are feeling really good about their squads, and what a better way to start your season, the first game of the year, than playing here at Dow Diamond. They got new turf this year. They redid the infield. It's just absolutely gorgeous. The grass is green. A little bit windy, had a few snow flurries when we were down there, but it looks like they're going to get the games in tonight.
Well, we talked first for the Pinconning area Spartans. You've got a homegrown star that is back now coaching, has made his mark in basketball, now in baseball, Casey Pashik, and he's got a core group back from a quarterfinal run, and he's pretty excited early in the season about what this looks like.
Yeah, he had a little pep in his step and was really excited about his squad this year, Jeff. Like you said, going to the quarterfinals last year, had a really good year, bringing back some good arms for the pitching staff, so he's pretty excited. It's really nice to be able to get that first one under your belt tonight and to do it here at Dow Diamond against a pretty good baseball team in Bay City Central. Pretty exciting for these young men.
Well, Casey's excited because he's got four legit pitchers, and early in the year you might not be able to see, a little harder gripping the ball and stuff in the cold, but when you know that you can drop that ball down to four quality starters, that goes a long way towards making your high school program successful.
Well, and he's got good numbers, too. We saw a lot of kids out there, too, Jeff. He's got a good pitching staff. Pinconning has always had pretty good baseball teams up there. When you go back to the old days, they were always pretty good in the NEMC and stuff, and they're really good this year. So Casey's got some high hopes. He's just got to be careful with the weather and how he's going to pitch those kids, but he is fired up, and these kids are fired up for a big game to here at Dow Diamond tonight.
Well, and you've got Brady Neitzel on the other side. First year at the helm, but many years in the program, back to the Gib Garcia, and then Coach Kozatek. I've had about a 3-year run here at Bay City Central. So Brady's in the building every day, and it's important to be able to see and talk to those kids and make sure that they're on track. They toe the line. You can keep up on their grades and stuff, and all those little things add up to the start of a successful program.
Well, it's really important that they see him walking the halls, Jeff, and checking in with you, and you're walking the halls and checking in with the teachers and the administrative staff to see how the kids are doing. And Brady has cut his teeth with some really good quality coaches, some good mentors. I remember his dad played for me when I was coaching at All Saints, so I've watched him mature over the years. He was coaching the little kids when he was with his dad. So, he knows what it takes. He was a good baseball player, played at Mott Community College, if I'm not mistaken. So he's got some, he's ready to get to that varsity level and put his mark on the program.
Well, and it's great, too, because he has accessibility to people like Gib Garcia that are often available and avail themselves so that they can talk baseball and strategy and situations and how to do things. So isn't like he's just thrown to the wolves in his first year, no pun intended.
I was just about to say that too.
It's just exciting to see. And he's got a great core group of people, and we're going to see Cam Reed on the mound today. And with the cancellation already for the Thursday game, that allows him to maybe go 4 or 5 innings with his starter instead of 30 pitches for 3-4 guys.
Well, and it's really nice to be able to chew on the ear of a Gib Garcia who's been doing it in a while, or, he was telling us he's got some clothes from Brian Bishop. Those guys, and I still do that today. I see Jim Deming, we talk all the time, and coaches just have that thing that we like to talk about the sport we're coaching. So he's got a great opportunity to lean on a lot of good mentors, and but he's paid his dues. He's going to lean on those guys, but he's got the horse by the reins, and it's his show now. But it's always nice to lean on those guys every now and then.
You could tell we're just a little bit excited about the start of baseball season. Not a better place for it to happen than right here at Dow Diamond. Two great quality programs with great leadership. That about puts the wraps on our Covenant Healthcare-sponsored pregame show. Back with all the chilly action in just a moment on BCTV.
You step up to life's challenges. Covenant Healthcare helps you stay one step ahead. As the most preferred health system for orthopedics, we're leading the way with next-generation treatments like robotic-assisted joint replacements, advanced expertise for complex trauma injuries, and a personalized approach to sports medicine. With the largest orthopedic team, we're with you every step of the way. Choose extraordinary. Choose Covenant Healthcare.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Dow Diamond. Jeff Doan and Mike Wisdala ready to make things happen. Jose Castillo set to lead off for Bay City Central in the top of the first. First pitch a little bit outside from Isaiah Hoffman, one of the four great arms that Casey Pashik is going to rely on this year.
Jeff, looking out there, and you look out there in right field, and they got that big scoreboard out there with the logos of the both teams. Man, what a great throw for these young men to be playing here tonight.
Absolutely. Hoffman with the second pitch coming a little bit down low. And, we talked to both coaches prior to the game, and the one concern that they both had is grip on the baseball for the starting pitchers.
Yeah, it's just not a type of day that's conducive to holding the bat or the baseball, Jeff. So they were a little bit concerned right there, but Hoffman just threw that one at 72 miles an hour, so that's a pretty good start. 2 balls, 1 strike for the Central batter outside. Just a little bit outside.
Skosh outside. And early on, it looks like Hoffman is just trying to aim the ball a little bit. And again, reminding yourself that it's both teams' first game of the year. So there's going to be a few bugs to be worked out. And that pitch is high. And Castillo, on 5 pitches, will find himself as the first base runner of this game.
Well, and Jeff, you're right. First game of the year, and they've been inside probably practicing or outside, a little bit outside in the cold. So, not really under a lot of game conditions. So 1 on, nobody out, top of the first for Bay City Central.
As Hoffman now comes to the stretch, and his first offering is just going to be just a little floater, and Cole DeZerka kind of cruises over underneath it and comes up with the first out of the game. And now coming up for Bay City Central, Sebastian McGill.
Yeah, number 8, Paulino Perez. Well, got him right in on the hands, Jeff. So that might have gave a little sting right there in this beautiful cold weather here at Dow Diamond.
That is what they call one ringy dingy, indeed. And one of those situations where it looked like Jose Castillo stuck when he hit the ground, and then had to reach for the bag, and that allowed a great throw from the catcher, Calvin Holland.
Calvin did a nice job getting it down there, Jeff, and he put the tag right, the second baseman put the shortstop, put the tag right where it's supposed to be, and the Wolves have 2 out here in the top of the first here at Dow Diamond.
Again, playing him pretty much straight up, center field, shading just a little bit left of second base, so looking for him to be pulling the ball, and that ball outside. And it was nice walking in, being able to talk to Shane Petrie and also Dakota Ritluski, and just get their idea, and they go, yeah, it's crisp, but we've got a couple of games under our belt. We're mid-season form. We're ready to go, and there's a foul ball that nobody's going to be able to get to. And when that ball lands out there, it reminds us a few years ago with
Standish Sterling
on ESPN, one of the great plays, top 5 plays of the day.
Man, I was thinking the same thing with watching that young man go
over the apple cart, but hung on to the ball.
It was made number 6 on ESPN's top 10.
So here we are with a 2-2 count, way outside. Count now goes full here with 2 outs in the top of the first inning as Isaiah Hoffman. Again, you're looking to get into a rhythm, but it's really hard to get into a rhythm when you don't have a good feel for the baseball when it's this chilly.
Yeah, it's chilly out there, Jeff, and there's a wind coming right out of left field, blowing to right. And strike 3 on the batter for Bay City Central, Sebastian McGill.
So at the end of the top half of the first inning, no score with the Pinconning area Spartans coming up to bat when we return in a moment on BCTV.
As the voice of Michigan student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports are supposed to be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic athletes can thrive.
We believe athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe students in the stand should have fun,
but not take focus away from the game.
We believe coaches should act as teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and be supportive of their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports,
and respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while keeping a high level of respect for all those involved in the game.
Enjoy the game.
All right, back on BCTV as some of the Wolves trying to stay warm, and here's my boy Ford Randall in the black
is that
jacket.
Ford?
I told Ford that we would get him a little airtime today. He's one of the assistant coaches for football, basketball, and baseball. That young man is a junior at Bay City Central, and with great certainty, I claim him as the homecoming king for next year, I think in a landslide.
I tell you, I came to visit you one day when I had to do some business over there, and he was walking down the hall, and you introduced me to him, and he was just a joy and a pleasure to be around and talk with, Jeff. I truly enjoyed my conversation with old Ford.
Well, and I'll tell you, when I'm with that young man, I have him come with me, and we walk down the hall, and he's my backup in the hallway. So during lunch, everybody in the building knows Ford, but I tell Ford if there's a situation where I might need backup, the right thumb goes to the mouth, he injects air into the pipes, and he grows large. And I'll tell you what, it's instant fun and respect from the rest of the students at Bay City Central.
He is a great kid. I remember you guys were starting to call him something besides Ford, Chrysler or Chevy or something like that. And he said, oh, no, I'm a true Ford.
David Ford Randall, indeed. But again, those are kids that put a smile on your face every day and make it a joy to go to work.
He was a great kid. Loved talking to him.
All right, now we've got the Bay City Central Wolves on defense as Cameron Reed will be on the mound. Looking at this potentially potent lineup, starting off with number 13, Landon Enciso. And again, you're going to say, I remember this name from football. You're going to hear that often today because a lot of these are multi-sport athletes.
That's exactly right. Cam did a nice job in that first pitch, Jeff. He brought that thing in at 78. The second pitch coming in at 79. So Cam Reed bringing the heat early here in the first inning.
Well, and again, Cam thought he was probably only going to get about 30 pitches in today, but with the weather being bad, the doubleheader with Midland on Thursday because of the potential of heavy rain mixed with snow, they said, why wait? Which sets them up great because they also get to play the doubleheader today, but then Friday and Saturday is the Bay County tournament, which both of these teams will be participating in.
and that's a big tournament, and that's being hosted over at Bay City Central's both baseball and softball field over at the McGregor Complex.
And soccer.
Oh, yeah. We over there, too.
El Trifecto.
Man, you're going to be busy this weekend.
It is going to be good. I won't have to worry about getting my steps in facilitating that, but that's just another job that's not even like a job. It's just fun and pleasure to be around the kids and the fans all day long. Cam Reed with that pitch just absolutely blew it by number 13 in CISO, another 79-mile heater, and the first out of the game for the Pinconning area Spartans. Up to bat now will be Blake Correas, as Southpaw will be the number 2 hitter in the Penny lineup.
Nice start by Cam Reed for the Bay City Central Wolves, striking out his first batter of his first game here in the 2025 season, Jeff.
Another beautiful pitch, and again, he's touched 80 for the first time, but he's consistently going to be from 77. He'll get up as high as about 82 miles an hour on a good warm day, but he's always around the zone, and that is something that you just got to love. As Shane Petrie says, that ball hits the inside corner. No balls and 2 strikes, but opened stance here with that front foot. And it's something that you don't see for a lot, but if that's something that works for you, then that ball just missed 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Correas, must not have any trouble keeping that front shoulder and hip in with that stance and hitting in the number 2 spot. He can handle himself. And there is a ball to right field, and look at the great catch out there by Connor Lamar Ayala. And he had himself absolutely perfectly positioned.
Yeah, he got hit that pretty good, Jeff. But Connor was out there in right field, did a nice job tracking it down. 2 outs, bottom of the first, no score. And a really good start for Coach Brady Neitzel and his Bay City Central Wolves.
Looks like Kelvin Holland will be that 3rd batter. And, a lot of times when you've got that ball hit right to you, it freezes you, and you've got to read it in a hurry. If it's left or right, you can get a much better look at the ball coming, but he had himself perfectly positioned for that, and Cam Reed is just throwing dimes.
Kind of knuckleballs on you sometimes when it gets out there when it's hit like that, Jeff, but Connor did a nice job out there in right field. Another good-looking pitch by Cam Reed. That's strike 2. 0-2 for number 24 for the Spartans, Calvin Holland.
Well, Holland sees an 80-mile-an-hour fastball, then a 72-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch, and then he comes back with another 73-miler, so back-to-back Charlies. And Cam Reed with a great job in the first inning. We've played 1, no score from Dow Diamond. Back in a moment for the second inning on BCTV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood, or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
Back here on BCTV as we start the second inning, Nick Charbonneau will lead off for Bay City Central as both pitchers really did a nice job in the first inning with efficiency.
That was a really nice start by both of them, Jeff. For their first game of the year, I thought it was pretty impressive. They're throwing strikes or getting it up there in the mid-70s. Once Reed had it at 80, so very impressed with the start by both pitchers for both squads.
And again, as we will continue to talk during the game, the wind chill is well down into the 30s. And to grip the baseball right now, you really got to be able to lick your fingers and have an opportunity to have a grip on that thing and know where it's going.
Yeah, and this is their first game situation since it's the first game of the year for both squads, Jeff. So they're just kind of feeling their way around a little bit. But like I said earlier, it's been an impressive start for both pitchers, and hopefully the batters can get things going. But just a great place to have a game. We talked about the field when we were down there. It was like a fairway down there. It's so nice, so plush.
It absolutely is the greatest condition that you will play on for, minus if you make it to the Final Four or something, and you'll be playing at Michigan State or wherever they're going to play those finals. But, yeah, this is a plush condition. As Isaiah Hoffman tries to go with a little bender at 63 miles an hour, and that's going to be a hard pitch to get a feel for on a day like today.
We were talking about the field, Jeff, and in between games, and they drag the field. They do it just like they do it for the Loons. They prep this field just like they do for the big boys. So, again, really, really a thrill for these young men.
As that ball is low, and that will be a walk for Bay City Central, and bringing up to the plate, Wyatt Stakowiak. And Wyatt, one of those people that last year got hurt in football and was not able to play baseball all year long, and he chomped at the bit. He did not sulk. He went out, he worked hard. He's in the best physical shape of his life, and he's ready to rock. And Wyatt with what could be the first hit of the game. That ball carries out to the left fielder, Aiden Fork, who makes a nice catch. But Wyatt's grandpa was the superintendent of schools and my old elementary principal way back when.
I know. I've seen Dr. Ron walking downtown Bay City. He had some great conversation with him. Told me all about his days with you over at Kalb Elementary School.
Well, it was before Kalb Elementary, it was McKinley.
Oh, McKinley.
Yeah, I gave him probably his first couple of gray hairs. Cameron Reed, the pitcher for Central, up now with a runner on first base and quick throw over to first with one out.
He said you were one of his prize students. I didn't know you went to McKinley, but he did say you were one of his prize students.
Well, we had fun, and, that was back at a very, very active booster club back then, back when they weren't real prominent back in the elementary days. And my mom was just one of those people that was able to stay home and avail herself for all the things at school and just formed great life relationships. As a swing and a miss by Cam Reed on a high heater to the outside for out number 2. That will bring to the plate freshman Bo Frederick, as he's going to be playing center field today.
Another familiar name from the past here at Bay City Central, Jeff. Know Dad and Grandpa very well.
Oh, we've had tons of fun with Grandpa over the years and some trips up north. We really can't talk about all that on the trip up north, but Bo comes from very good stock, very great mentors in his life, father and grandfather. As the southpaw takes another one low, so he's got 2 balls and no strikes right now, knowing that probably the bender has not got a good feel right now. I think you sit 2-0 on a good heater and see if you can make something happen with it.
Kind of playing in the pull. The center field's just to the right field side of second base. A little bit high, makes that 3 balls, no strikes.
Nope, that hit the letters, and it's going to be a strike, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Didn't see that umpire call that strike. I apologize.
He's shown consistency with making that zone big and work, and that ball down in the dirt. Very nice job that time by Kelvin Holland to keep that ball in front of him and keeping the central base runner from getting into scoring position.
Calvin, when we saw him bat earlier, he's a big fella, so he's got to get down there and block those pitches. So good job right there by Calvin.
We'll see what Bo Frederick gets from Isaiah Hoffman. And he's taken all the way and forcing the pitcher to throw some pitches. And, that's not a bad thing. And you're probably going to see another one just like that with 3-2.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. No score from Dow Diamond.
That ball low and outside. Good eye for Bo Frederick as Central now puts 2 on with 2 outs here in the top of the second.
Good opportunity right now for Connor Lamar Ayala, the right fielder for the Bay City Central Wolves with 2 outs. Man on first and second for the Wolves.
They're playing Connor a little bit over to pull as well, but, boy, got a huge hole in right center field if he's looking to go that way. That ball down at the bottom of the zone just misses a little bit low, and I think Central's approach early is patience at the plate to make the Hoffman throw strikes.
Well, and especially this kind of weather, Jeff. You're right. Be patient, wait for a good pitch, and then take what you can get.
And there again, trying to come with a bender, and it just doesn't look like it's coming good out of his hand right now. And probably a nice job that time by Calvin Holland as Cal walks out there and just, you don't need to say much, just kind of get him refocused and say, hey, 2-0, we haven't lost this hitter yet.
No.
Let's just throw a couple of peas by him and see what we can do.
You got this. Let's get him to do something, ground out. Let's get in the dugout, warm up, and let's get some runs for the Pinconning area Spartans. Nice job by Holland going out and having a chat.
2-0, a little bit high and inside. So Connor at 3-0. I would say right now Coach Brady Neitzel's got a stop sign on that 3-0.
I would say yes.
I would think that even if that thing is set on the table for him on a tee, he's going to be taken. But he probably will show me wrong. And that ball hits the outside corner, so 3 balls and 1 strike. That's a good take from the simple fact that even if you're swinging at it, there's really not a lot you're going to be able to do with that pitch.
No, that was a nice pitch. That probably hit part of the black on home plate, Jeff. 3 balls, 1 strike.
And that ball a little bit low. Now the bases are loaded. And the thing that Casey Paschik has got to look at right now is I know you've got 4 pitchers. I know you got the county tournament coming up right now, but their pitcher is throwing a lot of pitches here in the first 2 innings.
Yeah, Cruz Beeson, the second baseman for Bay City Central, is up. Bases loaded, 2 outs here in the top of the second. Big opportunity for Cruz and the Bay City Central Wolves.
Let's see if he's eyeballing something here on the first pitch. That ball right on the outside corner, and that just seems like that's where Hoffman has been
pretty
dealing.
Effective, yeah.
And very, very good command of that outside corner. So none of these Central hitters have been jammed other than potentially one early on.
Change up.
That pitch was a nice 71-mile-an-hour pitch, and 0-2 right now, as Hoffman is going to be able to pick and choose what he wants to do here on 0-2. Ball on the outside corner, called third strike, and getting out of a bases-loaded jam is Isaiah Hoffman. We played 1.5. Back for the bottom of the second in just a moment on BCTV.
My name's Kaya Vrabel. I'm from Carroll, Michigan. I came to Renew at McLaren because I was having some hip pain as an athlete in cross country and track and field. I actually had a labrum surgery on my right hip back in April of 2023, and so I had some rounds of physical therapy outside of Renew at McLaren, but it didn't really fit where I was trying to go, so I had some other problems, and they recommended me here.
I was a physical therapist. I was treating Kaya after she had a labral repair. First, after these surgeries, you're going to work on strength and range of motion, flexibility, and then you work on stability, functionally getting her back to her ultimate goal of running. So for athletes, making sure their body mechanics are good, their running mechanics, their stability is a big one to prevent injury in the future. Working on stability, balance, controlling their jumps, eccentric control, and it's about avoiding future injuries as well as helping their current injury.
Physical therapy here has helped me improve my times and actually get a couple school records. I broke the 3,200 meter and then the 1,600 meter for my school.
So we worked on getting her back to her goal of running and dominating, actually.
Back ready to rock here for the bottom of the second inning. The Pinconning area Spartans will lead off with Cole DeZerka. And you want to talk about another big drink of water. This is a well put together young man.
He is a big fella. A couple gallons of milk going down at the dinner table with that young man tonight.
I would hate to be sitting at the table with him and I left and only one big hunk of meat left. I could go hungry.
You'd lose, bro. I'm telling you right now. He's a big fella.
I would growl and he would roar.
I bet my money on Cole.
Yes, I would too. 1 ball and no strikes to Cole DeZerka. as Cam Reed comes and throws a pitch right by him again. Hanging around at that 79, 80 mile an hour. Very consistent in this cold weather.
Very consistent. Been up there with the fastball all afternoon.
That ball looks like it may have hit the Zerka. And good thing it's chilly out. It won't hurt right now, but it'll hurt a little bit later.
I think he got him on the tootsies, too, if I'm not mistaken.
It looked like it was either a foot or the shin or something along that area.
Yep.
He didn't seem any worse for wear going down to first base.
At bat for the Spartans will be number 23. That's Ryan Kowalczyk. Another familiar name from the Pinconning area Spartans that we're good friends with up there, Jeff, the superintendent.
Oh, yes, and my old boss.
Yes.
So I always tell Andy, I've always got to be super nice to you because you used to do my evaluation. And he loves it up there. And
it's a homegrown.
And, when you're a homegrown kid and you're replacing great stability with somebody that you feel is going to be stable for a long time up there, that's just what those small communities need.
Well, and he replaced Mike View, and Mike View went to the ISD, and Andy is now the superintendent at Pinconning, and Andy and Mike played basketball together with Lefty Franz. So I go up there and have a lot of great conversations with the fellas.
Life is good, and that ball finds a hole, and that's going to put runners on first and second base with nobody down here in the bottom of the second inning. A little rally cap going here in the second inning for the Pinconning area Spartans.
Nice job by Kowalczyk, Jeff. Really put that on the line right in between third base and shortstop. Like you said, a little rally going first and second for the Pinconning area Spartans. Nobody out, and at the plate for Penny, Zach Lowers, another gentleman that we called his name a few times on the basketball court this past winter.
Well, and Mindy and Bill, stepmom and dad, great people as well, and very, very active in the sports world. So great to see as they put their taxi hats on with their combined families.
The sister is over at, is she at Northwood, if I'm not mistaken?
I'm not positive of that. But just.
She's a player.
It's always great to have great athletic families and great to follow their exploits. You put a few miles on the old home Bluebird. As Lowers looking to bunt and did not take that offering. It will be 1 ball and no strikes. They must say he did not offer on it. I think it's 1-1.
Yep.
Yes, okay.
Yep. Hey, the sun's coming out. Good for these young men.
Got cakes on the griddle, and it's going to be a great day at Dow Diamond. Cam Reed on the outside might have seen that attempt at a bunt and really held on to that ball a little bit too long, and it sails to the backstop as Paulino Perez could not roll that in. So no need to bunt anymore unless you're bunting for a base hit right now.
Nope. 2 balls, 1 strike on Lowers. Nobody out. Spartans on second and third. Great opportunity right here for Pinconning.
That ball right on the outside edge, and both pitchers really finding a nice groove on that outside corner.
Well, the umpire's been consistent too, Jeff, and that pitch has been there all afternoon by both pitchers, so he's seen it and calling it. Good job by him also.
Whoa. Just missed. And Paulino did a great Jake Rogers. Caught that, brought it back in about 2-3 inches, and put a little picture frame around it. Shane Petrie says, I was bored at night, but it wasn't last night. Nice try, Paulino. And a swing and a miss by Lowers for the first out of the bottom of the second.
Big strikeout right there for the Bay City Central Wolves. First out here in the bottom of the second. No score between the Bay City Central Wolves and the home team tonight, the Pinconning area Spartans.
Alexander Shalagowski now up with 2 on and 1 out. Cam Reed trying to pitch out of a jam, comes high and tight. One of the few pitches we've seen coming up on that inside part of the plate. You saw off that bat, and you're going to have one ringy-dingy on your hands as that thing comes off the handle. Lily Tomlin would be proud.
Well, you're going way back there, my friend.
Yes, it's a laugh-in moment.
Nick,
Nick Page just missed, and that just ended up in the seat behind him. We could have a souvenir if they were at the Pony League, get a free bag of popcorn with that.
We got one a couple years ago.
Yep. That thing had a couple of chunks out of it from hitting the cement, but no balls and 2 strikes. There's just a little blooper. Nice job coming back for that ball is Cruz Beeson. And Cam Reed, give him credit. 2 batters in a row. He's been able to pitch out of potential problems.
Second out here in the bottom of the second for the Spartans at the plate for Pinconning, number 33, Isaiah Hoffman. Isaiah is the pitcher for the Pinconning Spartans. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second.
Not a better position to be in as a pitcher, thinking you got a couple of ducks on the pond where you can help your efforts. If you can find a place to get that thing to find some green in the outfield. Reed now able to go back to the windup instead of out of the stretch, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike right now to Isaiah Hoffman, trying to bring the first runner of the game home for either team. And that's a high, lazy fly ball, and communication talking about it, and the ball goes off the hand of the center fielder, Bo Frederick. And I'm going to tell you what, that ball was dancing up in the sky. And Bo Frederick had that thing just take a little bit of a push at the end and sail back away from him and allowed 2 Pinconning runs to score.
Well, and the wind up there, Jeff, you get it above the stands. The wind kind of pushed it. He went to the left field side and was pushing it to the right. Tough break for Bay City Central, giving the Pinconning area Spartans a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the second.
So with 2 runs on and a runner on second base, as Mike just said, it'll be time for Cam Reed to try and limit the damage here in the bottom of the second inning. That pitch just at the knees, and a great toss as the batter is number 8, Aiden Fork. And he'll try and see if Pinconning could add number 3 here in the bottom of the second.
Lots of room out there in the outfield, Jeff, for these players. It's just, it's so expansive out there compared to what they're used to. So, but the wind, I think, did catch it. It's blowing kind of out from west to east almost, Jeff, blowing out to left field, but kind of a crosswind sometimes also.
And that will be strike number 3. So we've played 2 innings of ball. It's 2-0 Pinconning. Back in a moment for the third on Bay County TV.
Are you ready to gear up and stand out? Look no further than Sandlot, your local source for team uniforms, sports spirit wear, and more. Gear up with confidence. We've got your team covered from head to toe, ensuring you stand out on and off the field. And that's not all. Unleash your team spirit with custom spirit wear that roars success. Wait, it gets better. Introducing our free fundraising online stores. Effortlessly raise funds for your team while showing your pride. Customize your fundraising to reach your team goals. Get started online at sandlotsports301.com or at any one of our 3 convenient Great Lakes Bay locations. Sandlot, where quality, community, and apparel collide. Your team, our passion.
Back here on Bay County TV as we start the top of the third. Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala along with you. Nick Page producing, directing, and
freezing.
Very chillily if that's a word.
Producing, directing, and freezing.
He is out there taking one for the team today, so our hats go off to you, Nick. As Castillo comes up for the second time in the game, and that first pitch goes back to the backstop, and Castillo led off, got on first base, and tried to steal second base, and it was still a little damp out there, kind of stuck as he was sliding into second base, and that allowed the tag to get on him. But he got down there in a hurry, and now it's dried out a little bit. If he gets back on first base, may see another opportunity to make that happen. But just a real routine ground ball to Enciso. He flips it over to Zerka for the first out of the third.
And you look at that ground ball, Jeff, just really, the field is so smooth and such good condition. True hops to to Enciso on that put out at first base. So those kids are, you know, again, I know we keep talking about it, but it's such a big thrill to play on such a nicely groomed field with such true hops.
Perfect hops. That's exactly what you get on this field. And, you know, even as the games go on your regular fields, when they don't have the manicured infields like this, you get footprints and you get bad hops, and now you could tell through 2 innings of play there's virtually none of that on the infield.
Just absolutely gorgeous out there.
Hoffman again. Another ball that just gets down on the inside corner as Paulino Perez with the no ball, 2 strike count here in the 3rd inning. Got to be in plate protection mode now as Hoffman steps off the mound and comes back on ready to deliver on 0-2. And Paulino, he's got himself tucked right up next to that inside batter's box line.
Hey, that's his plate too.
That indeed.
As Kramer would say on Seinfeld, I own that plate.
That time Hoffman again tries to come with a little curveball action, and just not a good feel for it today in this extreme cold. So as a hitter, you should have the opportunity of knowing 85 to 90% you're going to get a fastball.
Yeah, that was another 75 miles an hour, Jeff. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. Jeff Pinconning up 2-0.
And Hoffman's been 71 to 75, but, you know, lately he's getting around 74.5. This one at 76 mile an hour, so, you know, maybe he's getting into a groove. Things are warming up, stretching out, and he's been able to pick up a few mile an hour on his fastball as the game has progressed.
Still bringing some heat here in the top of the 3rd inning for the Pinconning area Spartans.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and that ball just missed. That was the best snap Charlie that we have seen from Isaiah Hoffman in this game.
Did you make that up?
I just thought of it.
Oh, my Lord.
That curveball just missed on the inside part of the plate. And the ball low, ball 4. So give a lot of credit that time to Paulino. Peruz battling at the plate, earns himself a trip to first base.
Yeah, Paulino did a nice job. Very patient right there, Jeff, and had a good eye, and they get a base runner with 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. Good opportunity right now for Sebastian McGill.
Tyler Anthony going to be coming as a pinch runner for Bay City Central.
Remember calling Tyler's name quite a bit this year on the football field when we did some football games over there at Bay City Central.
Courtesy runner, number 11, Tyler Anthony.
So Tyler Anthony making that happen. The batter for Bay City Central, Sebastian McGill, with an opportunity with 1 out and a runner on. Throw back to first base, and Paulino back there very easily.
Sebastian is the 3rd baseman for Bay City Central. No balls, no strikes. A little bit high.
And we don't have pitch count up here, but I would venture to say he's probably thrown about 60 pitches here in 2 1/3 innings for Pinconning. So we'll keep an eye on that as the game progresses to see how long Coach Paschik is going to go with him on the mound. Right straight back into what Nick Page says is a brand new net. Look how easy it is to see through this net. And there's a few dollars invested in the netting that they've got. And, you know, the last few years, Mike, they've extended those nettings down farther down the field to really protect more of the fan base during the game. And it's great as a swing and a miss that time, as McGill may have fished outside of the zone for that high fastball.
Well, in Major League Baseball, Jeff, as we well know, a lot of people are getting hit with those line drives. So they got nets all the way down the baselines and on the stand. So just a safety issue, which is really a big help in helping people have more fun at the game instead of worrying about those line drive foul balls.
Well, in baseball, there are distractions during the game, and if you're not tuned into the game, that ball gets upon you very, very quickly. And I would say that it hurts when it hits. That is a great curve ball that finds the inside part of the plate. And Hoffman throws another great curve ball here and picks up the second out of the third.
Still one on first base. Anthony, the pinch runner for Bay City Central at the plate. Number 14, Nick Charbonneau for the Wolves.
Let's see if they've got Anthony in motion here with 2 outs. There's another high, lazy foul ball that hits in a seat and doesn't even hit the cement, so that might save the action. Look at that. You got a couple of kids going for it. Look, it just pops out like a dispenser to you, just like you're getting a Pez. Yeah. Great minds thinking alike. As the pitch goes, and it's in the dirt and comes right up over the shoulder of Kelvin Holland and allows Anthony to get down to second base. So Central with a runner in scoring position here now with 2 outs and a 1-1 count.
Nick's got a great opportunity here, Jeff, with 2 outs. Anthony on the pass ball. 2-0 Pinconning on top of Bay City Central here in the top of the third from beautiful Dow Diamond here in Midland, Michigan.
Again, just we talk about it over and over, how plush these surroundings are and what a great opportunity it is for the kids now with a 1-1 count. Let's see if Bay City Central can make something happen. A painted pitch on the outside corner of the plate for strike number 2 on Charbonneau.
He likes that outside corner of the right-hand batters, Jeff. He's been really on that corner all game long. It's been his best pitch so far.
Yeah, he's got a good feel for that location on that pitch indeed. Let's find out with 1 and 2 what he decides to do with 2 outs. And he throws another curveball. That ball down in the dirt, so the swing and miss and the toss to first base will retire the side. We have played 2.5 innings. Back for the bottom of the third in a moment on BCTV.
Your heart drives you forward. And it's your heart that drives the Covenant Center for the Heart to be on the forefront of next-generation heart treatments, like minimally invasive valve replacements and advanced procedures for AFib. For the very young and the young at heart, depend on our experts at the most preferred health system. Choose extraordinary. Choose Covenant Healthcare.
Back here on BCTV as we're having the time of our lives here in the climate-controlled Dow Diamond.
The kids love it here, so do the announcers.
Yep, that is how we start our season when we figure out spring sports. How many games can we do from the Dow Diamond? As Cam Reed comes a little bit high on the first offering, it'll be 1 ball and no strikes as the first batter is Landon Enciso.
Landon, the second baseman for the Spartans. Ball number 2, a little bit high for Landon. Didn't like it, laid off of it. 2 balls, no strikes.
Cam Reed coming with the same location pitch on both, just missing up high. So that ball just foul as it goes down, and probably missed third base by about 6 inches, but that was a bid for extra bases. But Wyatt Stakowiak out there says, "Oh, Mr. Doan, don't be so certain that was extra bases.
I got a gun.
I got a cannon out there, and I am accurate."
Don't test me.
Oh, yes, indeed. So that ball on the outside corner again, where both pitchers have just had great success. And again, we talked about Shane Petrie's consistency on that call all game long.
He's been right there all over it, Jeff.
That ball to the outside, and that'll be a quick pitch.
And as a coach and your assistants on both sides, you talk to your pitcher. Umpire is giving you that to keep throwing it there. That's what he likes. He's seeing it well, so keep throwing it. Make him call that strike.
As that ball is up in the air, Bo Frederick is chasing that thing down. He just flat out outran that ball.
Nice job.
Out in right center field. Great job by Bo Frederick to track that baseball.
Yeah, nice jump on it, Jeff. He saw it right off the bat. And, it's kind of a cloudy, gray, hazy sky right now with the clouds up there. But he saw it the whole way. Nice job for the first out in the bottom of the third.
Well, and you talk about talking to the pitchers about that strike and keeping the ball there because it's going to be there. But now the second time through the lineup, your hitters should start to be able to adjust to that pitch and see if they could send a couple of them the opposite way.
Yeah, now the other end, that's what you're talking to your hitters about when they're up there. You know, the umpire's calling that outside strike, so make sure, you know, may have to take it to the opposite way sometimes.
So with 1 ball and 1 strike, right down the middle, and that is just below the letters. And 1 ball and 2 strikes as Cam Reed seems to be in a nice rhythm again here in the bottom of the third. There's a ball that's going to give a couple of hops to Connor out in right field. He scoops it up, and Bo Frederick just cruising over there to make certain that that ball stays in front of Connor. And so Bo's like, I'm used to running. I love to run. Just get me out there and turn me loose.
That was a nice hit right there for the Pinconning area Spartans with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. That was number 10 for Pinconning, Blake Karras for Pinconning.
Kelvin Holland will be there. Cam Reed throws that ball down and trying to send that around. They're going to go all the way to third base. Will they be able to get it? And the relay was not able to be handled by Jose Castillo, and they had a play at third base, and Central unable to make that relay happen. It puts another runner in scoring position for Pinconning here in the bottom of the third.
Well, you know, Jeff, I was watching Karras rounding, getting to second base, and he was looking over at Coach Pashik, and Coach Pashik was saying, come on over and see me. He was wheeling him all the way over. There's a lot of room over there down the right field foul line, so nice base running and heads-up play by Karras to get over to third base.
Well, and as a runner, too, your mindset when you take off from first base is, I'm going to third unless I'm stopped. So he had the overdrive going from his first couple of steps off first base once he got back up and was able to make it there without a throw.
And the nice thing was, you know, he had the ball behind him, Jeff, so he had to rely on the third base coach. And that was really good communication from Pashik to his base runner, and another opportunity in scoring position for Pinconning area.
Ball on the outside corner once again for a strike, and both the second baseman and the shortstop with the runner on third are going to make certain that that ball doesn't get by the pitcher, and they give up something free and easy. That ball right back at the screen, and that screen is so nice. Mike, you can't hardly see it. And all of a sudden it stops and drops.
The cords is very, very thin, so it's not that you can't even see it from where we're sitting at, Jeff.
It must be some new microfiber of some type that is super strong. And that ball right out in front. And there is no play right now as Paulino Perez could have made that play to first base because Cam Reed did a really nice job of coming to cover home. But playing from third base, you get about a third of the way down the line and you force Central to make a quick decision. They did the safe thing and did not want to give up the run as they have now got a pinch runner going in, and that will be Trevin Billingsley going in to run at first.
Looks like they're going to go out and have a little confab out on the mound, Jeff. Try to see what's going on. Set up, you know, talk about with men on first and third and 1 out. What are we going to do here? You know, so they got to make sure they're all on the same page. Coach Pashik says, well, I'm going to talk to my players. I'm going to talk to Blake Karras. I'm going to talk to number 29, Cole DeZerka, and we're going to talk about what we're going to do. So, you know, a little strategizing going on here in the bottom of the third inning for both squads.
Well, and do you send that runner from first to second? As looks like they sent the pitching coach out to make that. Of course, that's Dustin Little Bubbles Lucas out there as he walks out. He just got back from playing in Australia. Had some success, but had some elbow issues that really curtailed his professional career. Able to come back. You know, you've got another great opportunity. That is a perfect throw for the
what
out.
A nice throw.
And that is the second out of the inning. You know, you've also got Ethan Dufresne coming back after a college career to give something back to Bay City Central. So when you've got those young kids that have been able to play with experience at the next levels, it really is insightful to the kids playing.
That is a nice staff over there at Bay City Central, Jeff. Lots of playing experience.
As the pitch comes up high and...
Nice job by Paulino Perez to throw out the runner at second base for Pinconning area. That gives them 2 outs here in the bottom of the third with the score still Pinconning 2 and Bay City Central 0. And that's another hit batter for Pinconning.
Is that the second time he's been hit?
I think I think so.
He says, man, I don't know. Is Cam Reed not like me? Or again, though, that is going to be expected on a super cold day like today when you really can't get that good feel and grip on the ball.
Still 2 outs. DeZerka takes his place down at first base after being hit by the pitch. Up for the Pinconning area, number 23, Ryan Kowalczyk, had a nice hit there in the first inning for the Pinconning area Spartans.
Probably not going to have DeZerka on his way down to second base would be my guess here with 2 outs. Perfect pitch by Cam Reed down at the knees, right over the heart of the plate, and Kowalczyk takes strike 1.
Just looking out over the stands, Jeff, got some brave souls out here today for the game. So I think we got at least a couple hundred folks here in the stands watching here at Dow Diamond. So hats off to them for braving the weather.
Well, and again, even the fans are protected by the stadium itself. That wind coming from left to right. So none of the fans are really
from behind
out in it like you would have. What a perfect curveball at 69 miles an hour. Just froze Kowalczyk at the plate.
Well, and then we walked into the concourse. They had the concourse all closed up. They don't have it open like they normally do on warmer, so it's very nice on the...
So he scores before the out was made. And that is, that's exactly what happened. He touched home plate just before the tag, and that run will count. I think that was perfectly done.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the right call, Jeff. I think he got across the plate, and then they tagged DeZerka out at first base.
Yep, and that's where my days of umpiring come back, because as the home plate umpire, you're initially attracted to what's going on out there, but your responsibility is, does that player touch home plate before the tag? If that happens, that run scores. We'll take a quick break and be back for the top of the fourth in just a moment on BCTV.
Choose Renew Physical Therapy for an experience that exceeds expectations. When our team started out, we researched the physical therapy industry to learn what patients and doctors liked and what they disliked. Now we have the perfect formula for you. We offer individualized one-on-one care that is custom tailored to you, ensuring that your needs are met and your goals are attained. With our evidence-based approach to physical therapy, we're able to provide a level of care unlike any other. Contact us today to learn more. We're here to help. Renew Physical Therapy.
Back here on BCTV as Hoffman comes out for the top of the fourth inning. Let's thank some great sponsors.
All right, Jeff, another great group again for the spring season. Covenant Healthcare, Renew Physical Therapy, Frank's Great Outdoors, the All Saints Booster Club, and the official apparel provider for Bay County TV, Sandlot Sports. Folks, thank you so much. Couldn't do it without you.
As the first pitch from the top of the fourth comes from Hoffman. Right down the middle, just a little bit low. Now, rumor has it that Sandlot Sports is going to do some work with the Bay County Sports Hall of Fame.
I was over there yesterday.
Are you privy to any of that?
Well, I'm a little bit privy to it. When you're retired, you have a lot of time on your hands. You get to do a lot of things. So, yeah, we've got a new logo coming out, and our website is being updated. And as you all know, you can vote online now. So let's look at that next pitch, and we'll talk a little bit more about that.
2 balls and no strikes. Central batting now in the top of the fourth inning. Just a little bit on the outside part of the plate. As Wyatt Stakowiak, looking at a 3-ball, no-strike count, probably have the stop sign here on 3-0 as Central's looking to get some base runners.
Need to put some folks on down 3-0 here in the top of the fourth, Jeff. Right down the pipe. And again, talking about the Hall of Fame just real quickly. New logo, new system for voting and online voting and doing all sorts of good stuff. So, next pitch up by Hoffman is fouled off
by Stakowiak. And I'll tell you, Mike, the thing that impresses me is after over 30 years, the number of quality people that still are not in that. And I've just got a quick glance at this year's nominees, and it's a star-studded lineup.
It really is. It really is. There's 18 good inductees. We're going to put in 3 more teams, and we have our President Award winner, who is really, truly going to be a great president representation for the Hall of Fame, Jeff. And Dinah Duras is going in as our President Award, so congratulations to Dinah. She does a great job for Bay City All Saints.
Yep, she is a fixture over at Bay City All Saints, and that was a nice little ceremony they did that Sean Sullivan got a chance to MC, and very deserving
pot of gold
person into the Sports Hall of Fame.
Hoffman with the first pitch, second batter, a little bit outside. And for those
Reed up to bat.
For those that are interested, it's going to be November 9th at the Doubletree in downtown Bay City, which is a great place.
Oh, it is a great place, and they've been a really gracious host over the decades.
Absolutely love going down there. And hard to believe, and we'll quit talking about it, but I just love it. It's my 20th year on the board this year.
And it's a great, consistent board that you've got there, too. We could talk all night about the characters that are on that group, but just fun thing to be part of.
Yeah, it certainly is. A little bit outside. Nope, they called that one a strike.
I think just must have caught the outside corner. So Hoffman getting ready to pitch again out of the stretch to the outside again, and that ball pops away from Cal Holland.
Hoffman looked at his hand, Jeff, when he threw that. After he threw it, he looked down at his hand. I'm hopefully he's okay. With this cold weather, it's like we've been talking about, it's just so hard to grip that baseball and throw it at 75 to 80 miles an hour.
Well, and you're down there, you're working that ball, and you're just doing everything you can to find an area that you can scuff up just enough to get a good grip on it. And, both pitchers, I think, have done a tremendous job in this game of being able to stay around the strike zone. Isaiah Hoffman again delivers that thing down low, and Bay City Central will end up with Cam Reed on base, trying to help his cause on the mound, and that will bring up number 12, Bo Frederick. And Bo Frederick in his first at-bat brought the count full.
Going to get a pinch runner for Bay City Central. Going out to pinch run is number 4 for Bay City Central, Aaron Kane.
And that's nice, too. You get your pitcher an opportunity to come back and warm up a little bit, get at least the coat back on the right shoulder and the arm, and let somebody else that is equally as fast get out there. Look at the big lead that he's got at first base. He's itching to take off for second. That ball on the outside part of the plate just missed. And Hoffman, from his body language, was really looking for that pitch, but I think that was a good outside call from our home plate umpire, Shane Petrie.
They got the heaters going on in the dugouts, Jeff, so they can just kind of scoot up down towards those propane heaters and get warmed up, because it is a little bit chilly, and the wind is still blowing the same way, just kind of from left field to left center to center. Boy, almost got him there.
Yep, spun the wheels trying to go back to first base. Kane gets back there, but I think the wind has actually picked up a little bit over the last inning or so, as the flag Old Glory out there is standing straight as that wind is coming west to east from left to right as you look at your TV. Bo Frederick just a touch late on a good waist-high fastball. got a good cut at it. That'll just be enough to loosen everything up. And 2 balls and 1 strike. He had his eyes big and had a good pitch to hit. Just missed it, but liked the swing.
Aaron Kane again with the big lead at first base for Bay City Central.
He's itching.
Yeah, he is.
That pitch, and I think he's over there twitching at first base, and you can't help as Hoffman can't at least see that out of the corner of your eye, and that's all you need to do as a base runner, distract that pitcher that little bit, and he's going to be prone to making a mistake. At least that's what Kane is hoping.
Well, and Hoffman's, he's thinking about him too. He's itching. That last pitch would have been a good one to go on. But when you're down 3-0 also, you got to make sure the opportunity is right, and another walk will load the bases at first and second for Bay City Central with 1 out. And coming up to bat for Bay City Central, Connor Lamar Ayala. And Coach Patrick says, yeah, we need to have a little chat, settle things down, what's going on, and, take some time, figure out what they're going to do with men on first and second.
Well, and looks like Will Zielinski comes out as well. I think they're going to
pitching change,
make some changes. We'll see who goes where, and looks like Will Zielinski might be in as a defensive replacement as they swap some folks around.
It's like number 10, Blake Karras, will be the new pitcher for the Pinconning area Spartans. Hoffman will go to the bench. No, he's going to get a different glove, and he's going to go out to another position on the field. We'll see where he goes.
Another glove? When we grew up, we were lucky to have one. Instead, I got one for first base. I got one for infield. I got one for outfield. I don't know how all of this works these days. Hey, Dad, I need a $500 bat. We got a big hunk of wood when we were young and make it work.
We chopped down a tree and went to Gadine's to get our gloves and our bats, and from Tommy Maynard over at Gadine's Hardware. And beautiful Johnson and third in Bay City.
That is just a fun thing. As Brady Neitzel takes an opportunity as well to talk to both base runners to fill them in on the situations with 1 out. And remember, on an infield fly, you got infield fly rule that's still in effect. And as we're cruising up and around the bases, let's make sure we keep an eye on our coaches and don't get doubled off on the line.
Hoffman went out to center field and replaced
Kowalczyk.
Ryan Kowalczyk, excuse me. Didn't see if Ryan went anywhere, if he stayed in the game, or if he is completely out of the game. We'll look for him.
And it looked like Will Zielinski is going to be the new second baseman. So we'll change that. And Will's dad, one of those folks that has the Pinconning background, but the Bay City Central employment is his dad is a counselor over at Bay City Central. And
you got all the poop.
My 10 o'clock break partner.
You got all the poop coming in here from Bay County.
Oh, yeah, life is
I'll
good.
tell you what, you're a man about town.
Yeah, I tell you, don't have any friends, but I do know a lot of people. Connor offers at that first pitch, and it's a strike. And, well, you got people moving right now, but if he's going to bunt that ball, he certainly better bunt it to first base, because coming in is Zach Lowers in a big hurry from third. And so, a lot of people nowadays will show that bunt early, and then they'll rear back and take a good, healthy cut at the ball. So we'll find out if Connor is thinking about doing that. That pitch is just a little bit high, 1 ball and 1 strike. And when you're a brand new pitcher coming into the game, that's just something else to have to think about. Now I got a bat in the zone. Just don't think about it. Just let it go. And that is Blake Karras.
Third baseman Lowers sneaking in for the bunt, Jeff, from third base. Nice bunt right there for number 9 of Connor Lamar Ayala, but really nice job right there, Jeff, getting the runners to second and third.
And that's exactly what his job was. So you are setting the table right now for the top of the lineup, and Jose Castillo to see what he can do in his, he's the on-deck batter, excuse me. That next hitter will be number 5, Cruz Beeson, with an opportunity with a couple of ducks on the pond.
And 2 outs here in the top of the 4th.
Just missed him with a little bit of a inside heat. That'll back you off the front of that plate in a hurry.
Excuse me, top of the 5th. I was mistaken. Top of the 5th inning.
As they are cruising, I think it's top of the 4th yet.
Is it?
I'm trying to piece together where we're at. I'm pretty sure we're top of the 4th.
That's what I thought too.
Yep.
The scoreboard has got a 0 at the for the home team and nothing where the for Bay City Central. So yeah,
I don't know if they're trying to prognosticate or what they're doing, but that ball
their hands maybe are cold too.
Just missing. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. No, they're the same as us in that controlled environment.
Boy, what a production room over there for the Loons here at Dow Diamond.
Well, everything they do here is first class. There is no question about it. Right on the outside corner again. Both teams have got just great command of that outside third.
They've been painting that all afternoon. Both pitchers. What a nice pitch right there by number 10, Blake Karras.
Blake Karras trying to do a little Picasso out there from the mound, painting that outside corner. And a little bit high as it brings the count full. Big advantage right now for the runners on anything hit. As soon as that motion goes, they're off and running. So even bloop single or anything should be able to produce 2 runs if they can make it happen.
Well, he wanted to go right down between the first and second baseman right there, Jeff, and that would have got 2 runs in. And what a good opportunity right there for Cruz Beeson to go opposite.
Well, and he did a great job of staying back on that curveball and just get a piece of it to waste it to live for another pitch. And it goes to the outside. And so, again, that forces Blake Karras to have to throw more pitches in a stressful situation with the bases juiced now and 2 down and the top of the order coming up for Central.
Good opportunity for number 1, Jose Castilla for Bay City Central. 2 outs. Top of the 4th inning, Pinconning up 3-0, bases loaded full of Wolves. Jose's got a good opportunity right here to do something for Bay City Central.
That ball just again on the outside corner of the plate.
Wow.
And again, when you're looking at your 4th trip through the lineup, you almost got to anticipate that ball's out there and spray it to right center field. Easier said than done, but those people are living on that part. What a great curveball that time at 67 miles an hour. And that puts Castillo in an 0-2 hole with 2 outs and the bases juiced. Let's see if Karras can work out of this jam or if Castillo can come up with a big hit for Bay City Central.
Whoa.
The outside corner again.
Good pitch.
That 69-mile-an-hour curveball. He seems to have a little better feel for that curveball than Hoffman had early on.
Well, that was a good pitch. You know, you're up 0-2. That's a good pitch. Just kind of throw that one away. See what he's got dialed up here.
Does a great job with another 67-mile-an-hour pitch. And that will shut down the Wolves, leaving the bases juiced. After 3.5 innings, it is 3-0. Pinconning back for the bottom of the 4th in a moment on BCTV.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
All right, back for the bottom of the 4th inning on Bay County TV. The first batter will be Ryan Kowalczyk. So he switched positions out there, and there was a whole lot of Houdini shuffling going on, and we didn't see it all. But a great first pitch by Cam Reed, putting Kowalczyk at an 0-1 hole.
Bottom of the 4th here at Dow Diamond, Pinconning area. Spartans 3, Bay City Central 0. And a very well-played, well-pitched baseball game for both squads.
Well, and I really think the biggest run of the game was that 3rd run where the first baseman, Charbonneau, was halfway between first and second. He stopped and retreated just long enough before he got tagged to allow the runner to come home from third base and give him that third run of the game as Kowalczyk takes strike 2 as it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
See a couple snowflakes coming down right now, Jeff, in front of us.
Yesterday morning for about half, 3/4 of an hour, I was ready to start singing Christmas carols. So Kowalczyk sends that out to left center field, and Ryan Stakowiak with a nice snag out there and lost the hat for a minute, showing off those great locks.
Yeah, he's on that all-hair team out there.
And again, just another great kid to see in the hallway. You love being around great kids, and I know Pinconning's got a lot too, but I am blessed with the opportunity to see these BCC kids up close and personal every day. As Cam Reed to the windup and the pitch. There's another one right out to center field. Bo Frederick's going to have to get on his horse. That thing caught up in the wind, and that's going to end up being a 3-bagger. As the throw comes in, and that's up the line. And, boy, that ball was tagged. And
Zach Lowers.
Yep, Lowers just put a charge in that thing and hit a line drive, but just got enough of it up in the wind. And Bo Frederick knew as soon as it was hit, he just turned and started hightailing, and he could not outrun that ball.
Had a little bit of a slice on it too, Jeff, and it was following right with the wind right there, and he hit that really, really good. Here at Dow Diamond, you're 400 feet straight away center, 325 down the right, 332 down left, so that was a poke, and nice job by Lowers with 1 out, and he's on third base with a stand-up triple.
Well, and right away you get to the power alleys, and right and left center field it's 373 and 375. So it juts out from 325 to 373 in a big hurry, and then goes to 400. That is an expansive outfield to try and cover.
Yep, it is absolutely huge. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change here for Bay City Central. Jeff, looks like, if I'm not mistaken, is that number 1, Castillo? Coming in to pitch for Bay City Central right now?
It is Jose Castillo.
Okay. So that'll end the evening for Cam Reed. And, Cam did a nice job, Jeff. He threw some nice balls, got some speed on it, was painting that outside corner to both right and left-handers. And take your hat off to Cam and doing a great job under tough conditions.
So we'll try and see now who is the new shortstop. See, did Cam Reed come out, or is he going to shortstop? Did we see him leave the field?
Looks like he's still out there. He'll probably be going to shortstop. Jeff, he's talking with number 14, Nick Charbonneau. And, Cam Reed is number 10. He's out there talking with the Charbonneau and another Central player. So we'll see. He'll probably end up going to shortstop.
I would guess that he and Castillo just switch positions, but I don't like to try and outthink the brain trust.
No.
I've been at a serious deficit for decades, my brother, when you try and do that.
Well, you beat me to the punch.
I didn't give you the opportunity.
No, because I was ready to come with both barrels on that one, my friend.
Just when we think we're experts, we can't hang with the big boys.
No, that's why we're up here and they're down there, and that's just the way it should be.
One of these days we'll learn our place up here in the booth.
Thank a couple sponsors while we got some time, Jeff. How about the official apparel provider, Sandlot Sports, All Saints Booster Club, Frank's Great Outdoors, which is just a terrific place. We've had an opportunity to visit Renew Physical Therapy, and our good friends from Covenant Healthcare. We're winding down this season, Jeff, and hopefully we can get some of those folks to jump on board again for next year.
Well, we're always excited to bring out that fall, winter, and spring schedule for next year. So we get through spring. I believe we've got 3 or 4 more baseball, softball games coming up. Another one here from Dow Diamond coming up in May. That will be the John Glenn Bobcats. And Coach Jeff Hart with the 900-plus wins in his career. In fact, last year I believe he got that 900th win right here at Dow Diamond in a game that we broadcast.
Yep. You'll be doing that game with The Voice, the President Hall of Famer Mike Vincent. I won't be able to make that. Had something else going on, so you guys will have a lot of fun. He does a great job.
Well, he is definitely one of those people that is more than willing to step up and loves being able to help out, and as you said, does just a really nice job on short notice.
Yep, always a pleasure to hang out with Mike. When you're doing your boat races, he'll step up. I'll do the play-by-play, and he'll do the color. So
versatility at his
best. He's
He's
a big part of Bay County TV.
He is a big part of Bay
I'm
County
worried.
sports, period,
Yes.
being the voice at Bay City Central for so long, and just those familiar voices. I mean,
30 years.
You think of the voices at All Saints and at John Glenn and all the years of the consistency that we've had. We're spoiled here in Bay County.
We really are. We really are.
As the 2-ball and 2-strike count. And there is a fly ball to center. Bo Frederick is trying to eye it up, and he sends that thing back into the infield, and that will be big run number 4 for the Pinconning area Spartans, as a great sacrifice fly for that 4th run comes from Sheligowski.
Well, just deep enough, Jeff, to get that run, and good job by the Pinconning Spartan tagging up, and just deep enough for the run to score, making the score Pinconning 4 and Bay City Central nothing.
Still here in the bottom of the 4th inning. That first pitch from Castillo is a swing and a miss by Isaiah Hoffman.
Steele does a nice job. Brought a little heat right there for Bay City Central.
Just misses that inside corner, and one of the few times, I mean, they've got batters that are leaning out over the plate looking for that outside pitch, and you can really saw them off with something on the inside third. 1 ball and 1 strike again, the bottom of the 4th inning, 4-0, Pinconning over Bay City Central. That thing just a little high and tight. Like the fact that you want to move their feet, though.
Yep. Keep them honest. Little chin music right there for Hoffman from Castilla.
I think it's just chilly enough today. Nobody's digging in for sure at the plate, knowing that these pitchers are having a hard time getting a great field. There is another Picasso on the outside corner by Castillo. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the 4th.
Little Picasso, little Leonardo da Vinci painting on the plate today for
those guys are loving that outside corner.
They are.
And there's another one perfectly positioned. And at the end of 4 innings of play, it's 4-0. Back for the top of the 5th in a moment on BCTV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood, or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
Back here, ready to go in the top of the 5th. Jeff Doe and Mike Wasdala, glad to have you along. Nick Page producing, directing, and
freezing.
Chilito outside as he is doing a great job trying to stay moving and get us all the action on the cameras. So hats off to the efforts from Nick Page today.
Jared got the short stick at the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Nick got it today.
Well, and I feel bad looking out the window where it's close to 70 in here, but he turns and smirks at us, and he's like, I'm young, I'm tough, I can handle this. He's like, you'll probably get home, and wife Julie will say, in about a half hour when you warm up, you can come over.
Talk to me.
Until then, I don't want no freezing hands and feet. Woo, that ball ends up hitting the Bay City Central leadoff hitter, number 8, Paulino Perez. So base running activity for Bay City Central to see if they can get a little rally here in the top of the 5th.
Up for the Bay City Central Wolves, Sebastian McGill, the 3rd baseman for Bay City Central. Nobody out here in the top of the 5th. Again, it's the Pinconning area Spartans 4 And the Bay City Central Wolves 0 here from beautiful Dow Diamond.
Tyler Anthony, the courtesy runner at
So
first.
Tyler Anthony is the runner at first base. They slipped him in without us noticing.
The courtesy runner.
That ball high and tight again as Sebastian McGill will look at a 1-ball, no strike count, and he's another one of those guys that just toes right up to that inside of the batter's box. Just on the outside corner of the plate. And again, a great, consistent strike the whole game.
Yeah, you know what? That's what you're asking for from a home plate umpire, Jeff. He has been consistent all afternoon.
And I've worked for many years in football and basketball. In fact, in football, I helped mentor Shane, and I would work with that guy every night of the week. He's a quality individual. He's a great person, and he really has mastered his craft and continues to work hard at it every day.
Good.
And he loves baseball, and
we need a lot more of him.
There are not a lot of officials for baseball. More people gravitating to softball. So the baseball folks are in great demand as that McGill fastball on the letter high pitch is fouled off back to the screen.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out here for Bay City Central in the top of the 5th, down 4-0. And another opportunity for Bay City Central. Last inning, they had the bases loaded and couldn't put anybody across.
So they got a little activity down in the central dugout right now. They said, hey, I need us a couple of more balls, and what a great pitch that time.
That was a good
thrown
ball
by Correas, and that absolutely froze the central batter. That was the best curveball we've seen today.
That was a 65-mile-an-hour curveball, Jeff, and you're exactly right. He just could not pull the trigger on that curveball. First out of the inning, man on first for Bay City Central, 1 out here in the top of the 5th. He's got a nice curveball.
Boy, and that ball is a real tweener. Are they going to have an opportunity pulling him off the base at first? And that's tough for a catcher because if you're a runner going down to first base, you want to toe that line as much as you can. That really stuffed out the angle for the catcher being able to throw that ball. So Holland had to go to the inside trying to get that ball to Charbonneau. And Central's got a little life here.
Again, Central, like you said, Jeff's got a little bit of life. That ball really went up in the air. That thing went up in the air at least 10 feet. So had a good opportunity for the Central runner to get to first base. First and second for the Wolves. 1 out here in the top of the 5th.
And Central has got to find a way to take advantage to at least get 1 or 2 runs across here if they want to maintain an opportunity here in the last couple of innings.
Stakowiak, the batter for Bay City Central.
As he'll get ready for his first offering. And Stakowiak has to do the old dipsy-do and duckaroo as that thing came high and tight, and that one didn't have good feel. Had good bend, but he was maybe about a foot inside starting that pitch.
We would have been over like that. We'd still be down there.
I would be calling for the trainer. We'd be visiting Renew Physical Therapy.
We'd be calling Sean Sullivan and said, hey, I think I did something to my back, my neck, my elbow, and my knee.
He goes, you're a pain in my neck, too. But it's all
I've heard
good.
that before.
1 ball and 1 strike to Wyatt Stakowiak. As a pitch on the outside corner of the plate as 2 balls and 1 strike, so a pretty good hitter's count as Blake Correas trying to work out of a jam here in the top of the 5th inning from Dow Diamond.
Correas took the place of Hoffman, who started the game for Pinconning area. 2 balls, 1 strike. The kick, the delivery, nice curve. He's got a nice curveball.
Yep, and Wyatt says, you know, I kind of had a feeling that was coming, but I just couldn't pull the trigger on it in time. And with less than 2 strikes on it, you know, with upcoming batters, you might sit on that pitch until you have to look fastball with 2 strikes. So Wyatt swings and misses at a high fastball.
78-mile-an-hour upstairs by Karras for Pinconning area.
And you're throwing 65, 66 on that bender, and you add another 10, 11, 12 mile an hour to that fastball, it looks
up,
85.
And up, too.
And it was elevated. You are right. So 2 on and 2 out for Bay City Central. And that pitch to Cam Reed absolutely froze him again, too. And Correas just got a nice feel for that curveball.
That's his pitch.
And if I'm looking for that curveball, and that is exactly in the same spot, I'm moving up to the front of the box. If I'm feeling like he's going to throw more curveballs than fastballs, I want to catch that before it has that complete bend. But, boy, it's moving 8, 10, 12 inches. It's just got crazy movement to it. Way outside, kind of a giveaway pitch on 0-2, a show-me fastball to the outside.
You knew that was coming.
You know, and you got to guess right now, but I'm almost thinking you got to sit on a curveball with 2 strikes just because of the way he's been able to command it. We'll find out here if Correas comes with 1 and 2, just missed on the inside corner. Correas took a step towards the dugout thinking he had it, but that thing just bent a little bit late. And
that was a great
Reed lifts
pitch
for another pitch here at 2 and 2.
That was a great pitch.
Again, high and tight to the outside, so it's 3 and 2. So as a batter, I'm going, okay, I've seen 3 really good curveballs and I've seen 2 not so good fastballs. The chess match continues.
Curve?
I'm sitting on a curve, even though he could blow the fastball by me. I'm going to take that chance. And he did get a curveball, and that thing is sky high and to the third baseman. Sebastian McGill will bring that thing in. And that shuts down the Central offense in the top of the 5th inning as we go to the bottom of the 5th. 4-0. Pinconning back in a moment on BCTV.
Your husband is having a heart attack. The ambulance crew asks,
"Which hospital?"
Before you answer, consider this. Covenant Healthcare is the region's most preferred hospital for both emergency and heart care. With an expert team of board-certified cardiologists and the Great Lakes Bay region's first and largest structural heart disease program.
Take us to Covenant.
Good answer.
Back here on Bay County TV, heading to the bottom of the 5th inning as Pinconning has got a 4-0 lead for the first time this game. Offensively, Will Zielinski to the plate. And again, pitching is Jose Castillo for Bay City Central. Again, the outfield shaded towards left. What a huge hole in right center field. If Zielinski can find that, good first pitch from Castillo, a swing and a miss from Zielinski.
Bottom of the 5th inning, as Jeff just said, it's 4-0. Pinconning area Spartans up over the Bay City Central Wolves at our annual trips to Dow Diamond here in Midland. And we've talked a lot about the great Dow Diamond, Jeff, and what a big thrill it is, not only for us, but you could see the kids were really excited about playing here when they were warming up.
Well, it's an eye-popping facility, and, you know, you remember as part of the Los Angeles Dodgers organization when they designed and created this to bring it to Midland. People walked in, and it was just instant wow factor. Great place for the kids to play, lawn seating. Great area to come down here and eat a meal and watch the game as Zielinski takes another ball low, evening the count at 2-2.
Fireplace, fire pit out there in left field, and then you
left center and right center have
left center and right center, and so it's just a great family entertainment. So if you get a chance, come on out and watch the Loons or a high school game. If you want to come out and watch some high school play. Yep,
they probably have got. I thought I saw about a dozen games on the schedule here, and we'll be back again one more time, as we mentioned earlier, as the John Glenn Bobcats play here in sometime in May. So 3 balls, 2 strikes with nobody out to Zielinski here in the bottom of the 5th. That pitch just a little bit too high.
What's that bright stuff out there in the what is that?
It's momentary, but I think the sun is shining.
Is that what that is?
Holy moly. We saw that for about 2 minutes while we were out talking to the coaches, but we haven't seen much of the sunshine today.
Here or anywhere the last 7 days.
And if you look at the flag right now, the wind is shifting just a little bit more out of the south and west. So as an outfielder, you're going to have to keep an eye on that. So it may be swirling a little bit, as now it looks like it's got more of a westerly flow.
Went back to where it was been pretty much all afternoon.
So maybe a little swirly goes the windy. As the throw over to first base, Zielinski back. Nice job that time of holding on to it, and Zielinski looks up going, I've seen that one before. We're not going to get me leaving the base. As we've got no balls and 1 strike. Trying to go back to first base and getting back on time as the batter is Landon Enciso, as he's coming up, I believe, for his 4th trip of the game.
Nice job with that throw down to first base, Jeff. Connor Lamar Ayala was over there covering just in case the first baseman missed that ball. Good, sound, fundamental baseball right there by Bay City Central.
Well, and Connor should have a good idea of that, too, because Connor plays some first base as well. So that is a job. When I played in right field, a lot of people think, oh, you're just out there. No, you're out there to back up a whole lot of activity. And if you're not seen or heard from, then you're doing your job during the game. There's a ball on the infield, and there will be 1 out, and the relay unable to get in Enciso, but Zielinski retired on the 5-4 force out for the first out of the bottom of the 5th.
You know, the old saying is 1 for sure, 2 if you can. So they got the lead runner. That's the one you want to get. That makes it 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th for Bay City Central. Excuse me, for the Pinconning area Spartans with the man on first base.
I think they've got Correas at the bat right now for the Pinconning area Spartans. He's southpaw, and the first pitch is a little bit low, ball 1.
Blake is the pitcher for Pinconning here in the 5th inning. Took over for Hoffman, who started the game, did a nice job.
Boy, that pitch at 77 miles an hour had a nice pop into Paulino Perez's mitt.
And you could hear the catcher's mitt pop with a couple times up here, Jeff, with all these pitches. So you know they're bringing it, throwing some heat.
Well, and that's 77 to 80 hitting that catcher's mitt. It could be a little stingy, too, for the catchers. There is just a great throw down to second base, and they will pick up the out. That is the second time that Paulino Perez has put one right on the dot to second base.
Really a nice throw by Perez down to second base. Jeff got rid of it quick. Didn't waste any time, and the ball got there right where it should be. And a nice tag by the shortstop for Bay City Central, making it 2 outs for Pinconning area for Correas for 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And a nice job that time by Perez. He's like, oh, I didn't have to block that because there's nobody on, but instinct takes over, and you want to keep it in front of you, and you want to make sure that you stay in good habits.
2-2 for Karras.
As the windup of the pitch goes to the outside, making the count full.
Maybe, I don't know if Nick has got a picture of the scoreboard, but we'll take a picture of that between innings, and so everybody can see that beautiful scoreboard and what they did with the graphics.
The ability to do that stuff with the graphics is crazy. What a great job getting over there. Unable is Cam Reed to be able to do it, and that is a fair ball. Is doing a good job of backing up, and great job that time of Jose Castillo to actually come back to make sure that the runner does not advance to third.
Well, and I was watching that ball, Jeff, and it got up in the wind. It started out of bounds, and it got back into the field of play because of that wind. And so the umpire said, hey, he touched it in play.
And you know what? As an umpire, you are flat out right on the baseline, making certain that that is the right call. And I think, not knowing, but I believe that Reed may have overrun that ball again. Got up in the breeze at the last second. The breeze hits it, forcing you to have to come back. And I do believe that ball was right on the line.
It was kind of in between everybody. The left fielder, the shortstop, and the third baseman were all out there, and it just was out of play. Then it came right back in.
Well, if there's a fortunate thing for Central, it's that there are 2 outs, so Castillo can certainly just tune in on the batter and not have to worry too much about the runner at second base. But Cam Reed, he looked like a wide receiver on Coach Kevin Frederick's football team trying to track that thing down.
Oh, good stop by Perez.
So 2 balls and no strikes. Good hitters count for number 24, Cal Holland.
Perez with a huge stop right there, Jeff. Got down there and dug that thing out. Stopped the Pinconning runner from getting to third base.
Boy, Holland with a healthy rip at a 2-0 fastball, coming in at 77 miles an hour. He was ready for it. He got it and just couldn't catch up to it.
Castillo reared back and threw that baby, didn't he?
That thing had some zip to it. 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. And there is a little looper. That thing may find a gap as Frederick can't quite get to it. And Ayala does a nice job to come over, making a strong throw to second base. Not quite in time. And another run plated for the Pinconning area Spartans with a run-scoring double for Holland. Looks like we may have another pitching change now as Bay City Central. And this is not probably a bad idea with the score being 5-0 right now to get that third pitcher with something. We're going to take a quick break, though, and we'll be back in a moment on BCTV.
Are you ready to gear up and stand out? Look no further than Sandlot, your local destination for custom screen printing, embroidery, and promotional goods in the Great Lakes Bay region. With not 1, not 2, but 3 convenient locations right here in the heart of the Great Lakes Bay region, we're your MVP when it comes to branded gear that hits the mark. For over 15 years, we've believed in community, in delivering top-tier quality, and in making your brand shine brighter than ever. And guess what? We're not just about sports. From schools to clubs, from businesses to community events, we're your one-stop shop for custom apparel that makes a statement. So if you're ready to elevate your brand, to make an impact, and to fuel your passion, choose Sandlot. Visit us today at one of our 3 unbeatable locations in the Great Lakes Bay region, or check us out online at sandlotsports301.com. Sandlot, where quality, community, and apparel collide. Your brand, our passion.
Back here on Bay County TV, I thought Brady Neitzel was going to the pen to get somebody, but he decided to just have a little chat with Castillo, and first pitch from Castillo might have had a little bit more adrenaline than normal on that 79-mile-an-hour fastball after a little confab with Coach Neitzel.
A little seeing eye double for Pinconning area. At bat, number 29, Cole DeZerka for Pinconning.
As that ball is just a little bit down, and Bo Frederick doing a really nice job of coming in a hurry to make certain that there's no advancement on that overthrow from Polino.
Good heads-up play by Frederick coming in from center field to back up that play because the runner from Pinconning, he was way off of second base. That was a good opportunity to try to get him, Jeff, but throw was just a skosh high.
Well, and the problem as a runner, too, you're going back and you're hitting the ground to try and get back to second base. By the time you get up, change your momentum and try and get to third base, that takes an extra second and a half, and a very smart thing to stay where he was at with a 5-0 lead. Castillo just whistles one at 78 miles an hour right by DeZerka as he looked at that pitch and had visions of rocking it someplace, but just got it back into Paulino's mitt before contact with the bat.
Ooh, just
Foul
got a piece
tip.
of that.
Trying to stay alive at 2-2.
Just a small piece, right, Jeff, to stay alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth inning for Pinconning area.
Again, the sun remains out as the count is now full. Castillo misses to the outside, and DeZerka on 3-2. is hoping to see a good pitch he can hit. And again, the sun stays out. The wind is just still howling. And pitch to the outside. Again, I think Castillo at 77 may have just tried to aim that and overthrow it a bit.
Puts DeZerker on first base, first and second for the Pinconning Spartans. At the plate for Pinconning, number 23, Ryan Kowalczyk,
who started in center field and remained in the game with a position change. And his fourth at bat, Kowalczyk has that ball going. Frederick has a beat on it and is able to reel that thing in for the third out of the inning. So after 5, it's 5-0. Pinconning over Central. Back in a moment for the 6th on BCTV.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
Back here on BCTV as we get a chance to look at that great scoreboard prior to the first pitch of the top of the 6th inning. A ball just foul as making a nice catch to end the 5th inning, and poetic justice, he leads off the top of the 6th, Bo Frederick.
Great minds think alike, Jeff. I knew exactly what you were going to say.
So let's see if he can do something to get the base running carousel started for Bay City Central. That ball painted on the inside corner, and Bo was like, that's just not fair. That is a very tough ball to hit in these conditions especially. No balls and 2 strikes. There's just a little lazy pop fly, and who's going to take that? And it ends up being Sebastian McGill with a little Olay out there.
I tell you what, that wind is tough. It gets up above the roof of the stadium, and it just kind of takes it from the third baseline right out to center, Jeff. That's how hefty that wind is. It's got to be going 20 miles an hour at least.
Up above the stadium, all at 20 miles an hour. I concur. A little foul ball. That was headed right back towards Nick Page, too, but he was like, I'll just snag that one. He's got great hands out there. Might be a little stingy today, though.
He's not grabbing anything that's coming his way.
He says that net's in a good spot. That ball just on the outside corner again, painting it as Connor just says, boy, I can't do much with that pitch. So he's living for another pitch now at 0-2. Oh, my. That is just an unbelievable pitch. What great command that Correas has on that curveball.
He really does know how to throw that, Jeff. He just freezes the batter. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. At the plate for the Wolves, number 5, Cruz Beeson. Pinconning 5 and Bay City Central 0.
Correas just whistles that up over the top of the head of Beeson, and I mean, it may be a purpose pitch. Maybe you just don't want people to be digging in, and it certainly puts a little added thought process into the frontal lobe as the next pitch comes, and it's to the outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, that's the game going on. That's part of the game. You just got to make them start thinking about it, moving around, get them off the plate, and you got to pitch. And he's got that great curveball, and he's been hitting the outside corner with the fastball, and that curveball, Jeff, has just been freezing batters.
It absolutely is amazing how much feel he's got on that ball for how cold it is out there. 3-0 pitch right down the middle of the plate. So 3-1. That's a great take for Cruz Beeson. Down 5. You're looking for base runners.
Sunshine is gone away here at Dow Diamond. So that means the temperature will be dropping a little bit more here in the evening hours there at Dow Diamond.
Well, and as nice as it is in this first game, if you can call it nice, it's not 40 degrees. it is going to be very, very chilly later, and there is a pop foul ball just out of the reach of Dzurka, as he could not bring that in, but a great effort indeed.
Good job by Cole Dzurka going after that, Jeff. Good hustle. And again, that ball right there, the wind took it from first base over towards the dugout where the Central Wolves are. So
kind of blew it away from him a little bit more. And again, it's dancing up there. It isn't like it's a calm day out. And so ball 4 and a nice take that time for Cruz Beeson to put a runner on for Bay City Central with 2 down.
Number 1, Jose Castillo.
Pitcher Jose Castillo up now for Bay City Central. 1 on, 2 outs, top of the 6th for the Wolves.
Throw quickly to first base. Beeson back in time. I don't believe he's going to be venturing too far off. I don't think he can afford to get picked off or picked off on his way to second base to have a chance to shut down an inning. And Castillo just kind of sits in there tight going, yeah, if you want to brush that against my front arm or shoulder, I got a pad out there and I'll take a free base.
Castillo doesn't have any long shirt on. He's got the bare arms on.
Well, he's got something on the front, but not on the back arm.
Not on the back, on the right arm. So he's tough. He's tough like Nick out there in the cold.
Yes, indeed, man. It's this is not for the weak or the faint of heart out there. So we're giving kudos to Nick Page. He's probably going to be sitting in his car for 15 minutes after he gets home, just making sure that heat's working in the Subaru.
Call Mama and say, get the percolator going. I want some hot Java when I get home.
Turn that heat up and let the cocoa get ready. So that pitch just on the inside did not curve back in time. So it's 3 balls and no strikes. So Central with an opportunity of the 3-0 count here for Castillo with 2 down in the top of the 6th to see if they can mount a little rally here late. And that was a great pitch right down the middle, and I don't know if Castillo thought it was a little bit high, but it looked like a great pitch, and Shane Petrie confirmed it. So then another one back to first base again, and that snap throw keeping Cam Reed. I, as a pitcher, personally wouldn't be too worried about that runner at first base with 2 outs. I'm going to focus on a 3-1 pitch. I want to make sure I'm throwing a strike, and that is just a little dribbler, and he's going to go all the way over to first base, wanting to show off that great arm. And that is Karras with the 3rd out of the top of the 6th. Going to the bottom of the 6th, 5-0 Pinconning. Back in a moment on BCTV. Founded in 2011, Renew Physical Therapy has quickly become the Great Lakes Bay region's fastest-growing patient-centered physical therapy and rehabilitation specialists. With 16 locations to serve you, our friendly, highly qualified staff of physical, occupational, and massage therapists take great pride in offering one-on-one treatments through customized plans to help you achieve the best possible outcome for your health. Our offices accept most major insurances and are well-versed in navigating the complexities of insurance policies, ensuring you receive the coverage and benefits you deserve. Visit our website at renewpt.com to request your appointment today. Back on BCTV. How about back on BCTV? It's a little better to do the talking when you got the headset on. Brother, where would I be without you? I'd be lost in space looking for Will Smith. As the first pitch to Lowers, and I believe Lowers may have been playing shortstop at the end of that last half inning.
We've all done it. I've done it. You've done it.
Hey, how come you can't hear me? They finally figured out how to turn me down. All right.
Well, that happens when you get to be 65 years old. You just forget to put your headset on sometimes.
Wow. You go to stretch for a second, and wow.
2 strikes on Zach Lowers. We'll get right back into it.
Good thing I got you there for me, partner.
I'll tell you what.
The ball dropped, and there will be the tag out to finish the strikeout. So out number 1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. What are you pointing down at? Oh, yeah. It works better when you got the headset on.
Well, That's one for the memories. That's
just when you think you've
over the 30 years, just when I thought I saw you do everything, you top me. You top it.
First pitch coming up a little bit high from Castillo. The batter is Shelagowski. So Pinconning hoping that they're batting for the last time in this game, as they've got a 5-0 lead in the bottom of the 6th inning. That ball right out in front of the plate, and they're going to call it a fair ball, and a nice little throw to first. Now they're going to call it a foul ball.
First base umpire called that foul right away, Jeff.
They're going to say it's off the leg of the batter, and again, that's very nice. Shane Petrie looks out and he points at the official and thanks the umpire at first. He made that call quickly, and from the central bench came something. He pointed to his chest with 2 hands. That's my call, and I made it. I made it quickly.
Yeah,
so kudos to Dakota.
Home plate umpire did not see that, Jeff. He was blocked, so that's a good call by the first base umpire.
As we have got a 2-ball, 1-strike count on Alex Shelagowski here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1 out. Shelagowski has another ball that comes up, and that will stay down in that first level. And again, unless you brought a mitt today, I don't think you want to stick the old bear paw out there and try and get one of those foul balls.
If I'm catching it, I'm catching it with my hat.
It's going to be that, or you're going to cup it with 2 hands and hope it still doesn't sting. On the outside corner, strike number 3 is Shelagowski.
Good pitch.
Said that pitch was not real hittable for me.
Good pitch by Castillo on the outside corner again. Jeff, we said it once, we said it 20 times. Good consistency on the outside corner of the plate by all the pitchers tonight, and calling that by the umpire.
Got some hot activity going on down the right field line as we got 3-4 youth seeing how many times they can spin before they get to the bottom, and see if you can find out how good they chewed their French fries when they get to the bottom.
That's over there by Louis' loft.
Yeah, it is. As those kids are there, and you get to see them do that every home game of the year. That is just a great visionary spot for the kids, as the batter number 33, Isaiah Hoffman, takes a ball high for ball 2.
And one of the nice things down there, Jeff, down the right field line, is the Adirondack chairs that you can sit on while you're watching the baseball game up the hill and kind of in front of Louis' loft. So another hit pitcher, number 33, that one right in the square of the back.
Isaiah Hoffman just could not spin out of the way, and boy, that hits you high in the back of the rib cage, and he's going to jog down the first baseline trying to see if I can get that stretched out a little bit, because that did sting.
That hurts on a hot day, and I cannot imagine what it feels like today on a cold day, Jeff. But he's going to shake it off, give his gloves to the first base coach, and he's going to stay in the game. Nice job, and did a nice job. That's what you're taught to do. Turn so it hits you in the back. So he did a nice job there. 2 outs, man on first for Pinconning. Number 34, Will Zielinski at the plate for the Spartans.
His second at-bat in this contest. Came in after the first pitching change, and that pitch high, and Zielinski says, boy, that thing was a foot over my head. Great job by Polino to keep that from heading to the backstop.
It's a nice game behind the plate for Bay City Central today, Jeff.
Throwing out a couple of runners with perfect throws, blocking the ball in front of the plate. Yep, he's done a very nice job as Zielinski swings and misses at that pitch. And again, as a pitcher, Castillo hits a batter and then tries to overthrow that first pitch. Nice to see him reel it back in with a nice strike on the inside third to Zielinski.
Sun's back out again here at Dow Diamond. The shadow from the stands is starting to creep up on home plate.
Another one coming right straight back on the screen, and would have been another great opportunity for Nick Page, the Chilito Nick Page out there, as he's going, boy, this game I'm looking up, I'm seeing those heaters up there. I don't know how I can find a switch to turn one of those bad boys on.
He's been looking every inning. He just can't find it.
So once we find the switch, we'll be all set, but it'll be the 7th inning. So there's a pitch that's fouled off once again as Zelensky gets a chunk of that, keeping the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 out on that 76-mile-an-hour offering.
Again, Pinconning area 5 and the Bay City Central Wolves 0. We're in the bottom of the 6th here at Dow Diamond.
Is that pitch right on the outside corner? Had a nice little bend. Castillo gets it to paint the corner, and as we head to the top of the 7th, Bay City Central is going to have to put the rally caps on and see if they can come back from that 5-0 deficit. We'll find out in a moment on BCTV.
Hi, I'm Zoe, and today I'm here to change your outlook on becoming a referee. Sometimes being a referee can be hard work, but I'm here to tell you that the positives far outweigh the negatives. Just think of the impact you could have on the younger generation, the laughs you could share, and the lives you could change. There's an unofficiated game that needs you.
Back here on BCTV as we look at Louie's loft in the corner and the kids out there playing Adirondack chairs. You also see the grounds crew lining up here, getting ready to come out after this half inning and redevelop this field and make it look just like it did before the first pitch plush.
I know a lot of people have been out here, Jeff, but if you haven't, get out here and support the Great Lakes Loons. And this is just, it's great family entertainment. They have so much fun out here, and on a nice, warm, hot summer evening. You and I were very fortunate. We came to the very first Loons game in the history of the franchise. You and I got tickets, and we had a great time here on opening night, the very first game.
I had a good friend that was the parts manager across the street at Dirk Waltz. We were able to party inside until we came over for the game because it was just a tad bit chilly that night too. So Bill Davidson, a good friend that I grew up with and went through school, made that a part of a great memorable night here, and what has just turned into a great facility and great storied history here at Dow Diamond.
Yep, it was a lot of fun. Looks like we got a new pitcher for the Pinconning area Spartans. Jeff, number 2, Alexander Shelagowski is the new pitcher for Pinconning, their 3rd pitcher of the afternoon.
Boy, and he's really having a problem getting a feel for that ball at 3-0. None of those first 3 pitches have been super close, and they're looking for a couple of more balls. And kind of interesting, I haven't seen the balls coming from both sides, so I don't know. Central looks like they're providing the balls, but I don't know. Again, that's ball 4, and none of those pitches were even close. So Shelagowski's really having trouble getting a feel for that ball. And Coach Paschik is going, wow, that's normally not like this guy. He's just a great ball thrower of strikes. And we'll find out now if Bay City Central can mount a rally here in the top of the 7th inning.
At the plate for the Wolves is number 3, Sebastian McGill, 3rd baseman for Bay City Central.
And again, that one ends up 6 inches in front of the plate, and a very nice job that time dropping the body down for Cal Holland to block that thing from going to the backstop. Both catchers have done a really nice job today in the game, and that's ball 6, and getting back to first base, very good. And I got to think in the next pitch or two, if we're not throwing strikes, we might have a quick visit to the mound from Casey Paschik to find out what's up with Shelagowski, if he's really struggling right now to try and throw strikes. And that ball's down and it's in the dirt, and as a runner going to second, he is safe, but you have got to make 100% certain that you're going to get down there to second base. You cannot afford to be thrown out down 5.
Yeah, and the way things are going with the pitching right now, Jeff, if you can get another man on base.
And we were thinking that throwing out of the stretch might change, and he finally throws his first strike in the first 8 pitches. And that ball down in the dirt again as Don't know if he's trying to overthrow. He obviously just doesn't have a good feel for the baseball right now.
Now batting for the Wolves, number 14, Nick Charbonneau.
So Nick Charbonneau coming up for Bay City Central, but Coach Paschik is probably going to have a real quick confab, and don't know if he's going to go to pitcher number 4 here or not.
Well, he's just going to go down and calm him down and see if they're. I don't think they're going to make a pitching change. They might be making a pitching change, but, just take your time. Somebody looks like they're taking off their.
Is that Lowers potentially? Nope, it's not like Lowers is with his back to us, so that's not who it is. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back and sort it out on BCTV.
Here is where the next generation is born. But we're also the birthplace of innovation, advanced treatments, second chances, and hope. At Covenant Healthcare, we're the most preferred health system because of the trust we have built across generations. And our leadership continues with the next generation. Choose extraordinary. Choose Covenant Healthcare.
All right, here we are back at Dow Diamond in the top of the 7th inning. Bay City Central, 2 on and nobody out. As the batter looks like Nick Charbonneau. Nick swings and misses at that first offering from Enciso.
New pitcher for the Pinconning area Spartans, Jeff.
As he comes in to try and shut the door in the 7th inning after Shelagowski started the 7th. There's just another lazy foul ball. That kind of came off of the handle of Charbonneau. That's one that'll sting the fingers a little bit and see if that affects his ability to hit the ball at 0-2.
You can see the shade coming across home plate, too, right now from the sun.
Boy, and that is going to be a double play ball.
Yep.
As he did a great job of picking that up off the shoot tops, and that's Alex Rivard out there, I believe, with that nice grab.
That was smoked, but right at the second baseman, and all he had to do was take a couple steps to his right and get that double play. So it's 2 outs, 1 man on here in the top of the 7th for the Wolves, and they're down 5-0 to Pinconning area.
Wyatt Stakowiak, the batter for Bay City Central, trying to at least plate a run for Central before the end of this first game. Enciso on the mound, out of the stretch. A little low with that first offering. 1 ball and no strikes. So Wyatt looking to see if he can get an extra base hit as he just lays into one. It's down the left field line and foul, but he hit that ball a long way. Just got a little bit out in front of it.
Down there by the Dow Credit Union Pavilion, Jeff, down the left field line. And, nice thing about they got some really nice tables down there, and you can sit outside or under the pavilion and grab yourself a cold soda and just have a good time at the old ballpark.
Well, and I was part of Garsky and Hewitt had a place where they got him. That'll end the ball game. We'll have to hold the thought on that story of the party, and that is going to end the day for Bay City Central as the Pinconning area Spartans with a very impressive 5-0 victory. We'll be back in just a moment to put the wraps on this one on BCTV.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Back with our Renew Physical Therapy post-game show on BCTV. Jeff Doan and Mike Wisdala along with you. Great to have baseball back. Great to start the season at the Dow Diamond.
Yeah, it was a really nice game, Jeff, and a big thrill for these kids. They get to do it again. They're going to play a double dip, and it was a lot of fun. And Pinconning area Spartans, they played very well. They had some good pitching, took advantage of some hitting, and came out of here with a big 5-0 win against Bay City Central.
Well, you have an opportunity to finally see, after all that off-season work and that practice, both coaches have an idea of where they're at. And it was a well-played game by both teams, and the Pinconning Spartans just plated runs when they needed to. Central left quite a few opportunities on the base path.
That's what I was just about to say that. I think Central had the opportunity.
I'm thinking like you finally, Coach.
I'll tell you what,
there's hope.
It is absolutely scary that you do that. But you're right. They did have a lot of opportunities. But, Hoffman started the game for Pinconning. I thought his starting the game, shutting down the Central Wolves a little bit and then giving him a couple runs to start the game really was the difference. They picked up three more and came out of here with the win.
Well, and you look at, again, from Bay City Central, they got a really good start from Cam Reed. A lot for him to build on, but really tough to get an indication today with how hard the ball is to grip, because they're not going to play in conditions much colder than what they played in, except for the people playing in Game 2 today.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, and they had a tough break with the wind over on the left field line, foul territory when it blew back in, and then the one out in center field where it was just the wind took it and just blew it away from the center fielder. So a couple tough breaks, but overall I thought the Wolves played well, and I think Pinconning has got a good solid effort from everybody on their squad today.
Well, and again, both these teams are gearing up for that Friday and Saturday Bay County tournament. It should be close to 50 degrees for both days, so nice. That'll be like Florida balmy compared to this that they're playing in. Yeah. But again, you expect that early in the season.
Well, it's not fun to play in, Jeff, and you have to be prepared for it. And both teams were, but it'll warm up, and both teams got to play in it. And it was just not a very nice day to play baseball. But hey, we got the first game of the season in for both teams. They're going to play another one, and hopefully the weather will get better, and we'll see a lot of good baseball here on Bay County TV.
Well, and hats off to the folks at Dow Diamonds. Their hospitality, again, the way they open up this facility to allow people to come and see it is just a beauty.
It really is, Jeff. And they out there, they're prepping the field for game number 2, just like they would if it was the Loons out there. And they're relining it and doing all the right stuff. So, no matter if you win or lose, we're all winners. We get to broadcast from Dow Diamond. We get to watch high school games for these kids. It's just a tremendous, tremendous thing that they let these kids on the field.
Well, and again, great to be sitting next to your side. Thanks for picking me up when I left my headset down on the table to try and start. And
I'll tell you what,
you're a true professional, Coach.
I'll tell you what, we've been doing this 30 years, and I don't think that I've ever seen you do that. But, just want to let you know I'm here for you, brother.
Hell, I appreciate it, because you'll always be a few months older than me, and that the wisdom will always be appreciated.
Somebody's got to have to be the wise one.
That about puts the wraps on another great ball game in our Renew Physical Therapy post-game show. On behalf of the whole crew, I'm Jeff Doan, along with Mike Wisdala. Thanks for freezing and getting us some great video today, Nick Page. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
We'll see you next time.